Hello, this is Darren.
And this is Paige.
And this is
Where's the Lemonade?
Where we talk about what happens when life throws you lemons.
Make some lemonade?
Maybe. Some weeks it's lemon squares.
Yeah, some weeks it's just lemons.
Yeah. On today's episode,
we're going to talk about spending time alone.
Together.
In Greece.
Awesome. We've talked before. In fact, we started our podcast on a trip alone.
Did we?
We mapped it all out.
Oh, yeah. Our trip to Panama.
Our trip to Panama. It was your idea, and you said, we really need to do this. We talked about it. That week that we spent together, we mapped out that we were going to do a podcast to talk about blending families.
Yeah, we did. That was fun.
It was fun. We're on another trip. It's been 8 months. It's been a long time.
That is a long time.
But we are on a trip together now, and we're in Greece. It's been a wonderful time. And I want to kind of talk a little bit about why do we do these trips with no kids?
Because you want a wife that isn't cuckoo crazy?
Yes, that is number one.
That's why. Number one right there.
It gives us the chance to reconnect and to be together without all the trappings of our day-to-day lives, like our kids or work or friends or anything like that.
And we do have to say, I don't want people thinking that we're rolling in the dough, because that's not the case. Because you travel so much for work, we have a bounty of points that we use for these trips.
And thank you, Marriott and United, for
this
trip.
Thank you very much, Marriott and United, because that is brought to you by Marriott and United. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. We would be, in Sacramento in a hotel somewhere.
Yes, probably. Yeah.
So anyway, thank you very much. And thank you, Intel, for, having you travel.
Yep, I appreciate it.
Yes.
So we really enjoy this time because we get to talk about things that we normally don't talk about with the kids around, what we're going to do in the future. We talk about our kids a little bit, but we try not to. We try and just talk about our relationship and about us. So that time that you have together is extremely important.
It really is. We've been thinking about this trip for a couple months now and just going, we can't wait. In fact, I almost sometimes feel like we put our relationship on hold a little bit at home because we know that this trip is coming up, and it's like, okay, we're really going to get some alone time and, get to talk and reconnect. And so we really enjoy these trips a lot.
We do. And we advise anyone, you don't have to take an elaborate trip.
No.
Spend time together. Yep. Just you and your spouse, no worries of kids or things like that.
Yep. And we've said this before, we're very good at compartmentalizing. You know what I mean? We can say we're on a trip and these other things just don't exist for a couple of days.
Yep. So, or a whole week. That's right. Okay, let's talk about our trip this time. Greece. No one said you could do Greece in 7 days. I agree with them, but we're going to do it anyway.
Well, yeah, you do what you got to do, right? And we only had 7 days, so that's what we did. But it's been fantastic. We've seen so many different sides of Greece.
We really have. Obviously, you have to, when you're in Greece, you have to go to Athens to go to the Acropolis and see the Pantheon. No. Parthenon. Thank you.
But you taught me something. I thought that the Acropolis was the ruins and the buildings. And it's not. The Acropolis is the mountain that it sits on, that the Parthenon sits on. I did not know that. I thought the Acropolis was
so did I until the first time I came here, 12 years ago for a business trip. And I learned that. And then we also found there's several Acropolis places all throughout Greece, which are high mountains, basically.
Yes, with ruins on top of them.
And
Darren learned this about me in our first couple of trips. I like history. But I get to the point where I'm like, oh, some more ruins. Okay, some more.
Some rocks stacked on top of each other.
Yeah, another castle. Okay. So I like some, but I get overburdened with them.
So we mix things up. We do different things.
Yes.
Right? And this trip was especially good that way. We started in Athens. We had a late check-in Athens. And then, so we got in Athens in the afternoon. we were dead exhausted. We said, we got to stay up. We got to stay up.
We'd been traveling for a long
24
time.
hours or more.
Yes.
And so you said, why don't you go find some food to bring back to the hotel?
Yes, I did.
So I went scavenging for food, and across from the hotel was this great park, and there was a concert going on.
So yeah, you texted me and said, there's music in the park. And I went, all right, I'll come down.
Yeah, I know music is one of the things that you really enjoy. So I thought, well, yeah, I got her to come down. So she came down. We walked around. There's lots of little shops down there. And we ran into the missionaries of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
They were so cute. There was 4 of them working on a whiteboard. Oh, they were cute.
And so we talked to them for a little bit. We wrote on their whiteboard, what's important to us. And that was their question on their whiteboard this time.
And wait, we have to say, there was 4 of them. One was from Italy, one was from Wales, one was from Texas, and one was from
the Netherlands.
So yeah, and they were all just darling.
Yeah, between the 4 of them, they all spoke Greek, English, Italian, Spanish. It was amazing, right? These 4 young men, 19, 20 years old.
Yeah.
Check out on our blog. You see a picture of them.
Yes.
And we also asked them one of the most important questions you can ask a missionary.
Where should we go eat?
Yes, and they told us it's an incredible place.
Because we knew they would know of a cheap, local, hangout that would have great food.
And they did.
They delivered.
Slovaki, it was awesome.
It was so good.
It was awesome. So that was our first night.
Yep.
Concert in the park, talking to the missionaries.
Yep.
Great food. And then we finally hit the sack and slept 5 hours maybe.
No, we didn't even sleep that much. We were a little messed up, but that's okay. And then the next day we woke up and went to the Acropolis.
Right.
And saw the ruins of the Parthenon. And we also saw some other ruins of the Temple of Zeus. And what else?
Hadrian's Gate. So all in all that day, we walked about 20,000 steps. We were pretty dead tired at the end of the day.
Well, we came back to our hotel at like 3 and took a nap.
Yes, we came back.
And we took like a 2 or 3 hour nap. It was too long.
That was really bad.
It was bad because then we couldn't sleep that night again.
Yeah, we had dinner at the hotel that night. And afterwards, we went out walking amongst all the shops near the hotel. And
it's very busy at night there.
Oh, yeah. Very, very busy.
Yeah.
So the second day in Greece, we decided we're not going to do all of the historical sites all at the same time. So we broke it up, and the second day we saw the Olympic Stadium, which was very cool.
So cool. And they were filming some TV show there.
Yeah,
we don't know what it was.
It was like Amazing Race, but not Amazing Race.
It was. Some girl won $250,000. It was the very end. It was the end of their race. So if it comes on TV, we'll know who won.
Yeah, we will.
Because they were.
You'll see us in the background waving.
Yes.
And
but yeah, she won $250,000, and they were filming for the whole time we were there.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a really cool place. We got to see all the torches that are lit at the Olympics.
Yeah, they didn't have all of them from all the Olympics. They were missing maybe like 4 or 5.
I was going to say they had most of them, but not all.
Yeah, but that was pretty cool to see all that.
So
and
cool.
See where many of the athletes ran down the tunnel to come into the Olympic Stadium there. Yep. Very cool.
We walked through. There's some gardens across from our hotel. And that was kind of cool. They were very pretty.
And then we went over into the shopping district. We really spent some solid time in the shopping district.
We were very serious about our shopping.
And this is where it comes to breaking things up. We could have spent more time seeing other historical sites.
More ruins.
Right. Rocks stacked on top of rocks. But we decided we're going to break it up. Find some nice places to eat.
Yes.
Cafes, outside cafes, which were wonderful.
Yep.
Did some shopping and perusing around. Sat and people watched for a while, which is always fascinating.
Had some good food. Was sitting outside. Yeah, it was great. And then we kind of come back around to our hotel, and it's on lockdown. And when we say lockdown, we mean like gates come down to block the entire hotel.
Yeah, the hotel looked like. Oh, remember what was in Avengers? They said barn door.
Oh yeah,
right, and everything locked down.
Yes, that was us.
That was our hotel.
Yes, it was on lockdown, and we see this whole SWAT team and SWAT gear come running by, and we're like,
all riot gear.
Should we be worried? We don't know what's going on.
We're like the dumb Americans.
I don't know what's happening.
So
We waited a few minutes. We went and watched the changing of the guard at the Parliament, which was across the street. And when we came back, the hotel was open again. And that night, we asked our waitress at the hotel. We were eating at the hotel that night, right?
Yeah.
And we were asking our waitress. We said, "Oh, what was going on?" And she's like, "I don't know.
I don't know. Who knows?"
Yeah, she's
probably some protest or something.
That's what she said. Maybe some protest. I don't know. So obviously, it must happen a lot because she's just like, no big deal to them.
Yeah. Now later that night, we went to the opera.
We did.
And this is really interesting because I like opera, and I got Paige hooked on opera about 6 years ago.
When you told me that you want to take me to the opera, I was like, "Do you know who you married? How about take me to Journey or Wham, but the opera?"
Wham?
I know, not Wham
anymore.
But then you could.
Yes, I could have. No, they weren't. But
anyway, so yeah, I was just like, "Honey, wrong girl."
So we took you to the opera first time in Rome, Italy, and it was outside of opera season. So it was at this little church, and some of the opera singers were just, making extra money on the side. So it was only an hour and a half. We were in the front row in this little church.
He was singing right to me.
And his tenor was hitting on my wife.
It was fun.
Yeah, not for me.
Oh, yeah, because he doesn't do that every single night. Pick someone different to sing to.
Well, he was singing to my wife that night. So, but you fell in love with opera then because you saw how much passion.
Yeah. I guess I thought that I wouldn't understand anything that was going on. So I thought, I'm just going to be listening to this, which doesn't interest me. And I wouldn't know what was going on. But you do know what's going on. They have,
little
subtitles. And we always read. They give you a pamphlet so you can read what's going on before, you read the story. And so then it kind of becomes very interesting.
Yeah, it does. And, the sleep killed me in this one. So I took a pretty good sized nap.
We're not going to talk about it.
She's still a little upset about this.
Yes, he was asleep 90% of the opera.
Not 90. I would say 82%.
87.
But the prima donna, she was incredible.
She was incredible, and actually, it was a really good story that I actually really liked. It was kind of fun, kind of soap opera-y, and it was fun.
La Sombrina.
I'm not even going to attempt.
But it's a great story. We had a lot of fun at the opera. We get to dress up, which we enjoy doing.
Yes.
And going. So if you haven't never done that, go do that. It's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun.
The next place that we went, so we stayed in Athens 2 days. The next place we went was Santorini. We heard you have to go to Santorini or Mykonos. We heard Mykonos was the party town.
But with beautiful beaches.
Santorini was more romantic.
The honeymoon destination.
Santorini for us.
Yes. So we went to Santorini and it did not disappoint. It is postcard perfect. I mean, it's pretty beautiful.
Yeah, we took not the earliest flight. The earliest flight left at 6 a.m. out of Athens. We thought, no, we're not going to be awake. We could have taken that flight.
We definitely could have taken that flight.
We were awake at like 4 that morning.
Yeah.
But we took the 8:30 flight, got into Santorini about 9:30 and
drove to Ia.
Ia
spelled O-I-A, which we kept calling it Oya, but it's actually pronounced Ia. And that is where, if you see any images that have to do with Greece or Santorini, it is from Ia. There's this
whitewashed houses with blue domed roofs on the chapels.
Yes, so we learned that the blue domes that you see in these postcards and pictures, those are just on churches. So we didn't know that because I was like, why isn't there more?
Yeah, everything's supposed to have a blue dome on it.
Right. No,
not
it's not. It is. Yeah, those are reserved for chapels. And the chapels don't have to have that on it, but they do have a blue dome, it is a church.
It is a church, for sure. Now, Ia is an interesting place because it's built on the side of the cliffs of Santorini, and Santorini is actually a volcano.
Yeah.
And the cauldron, where all the lava is underwater, and then the islands form the outside of the cauldron, and it is incredible.
It is. Most everything is built into the mountains. It's like caves. Like our hotel
we stayed in a cave.
We stayed in a cave, and it's not dark. It was actually it was bright and it was beautiful. Our hotel was actually incredible.
Yeah, incredible. The Mystique Hotel where we stayed, and we found out a little bit more about Ia. In 1956, it was completely destroyed by an earthquake.
Yep.
So
80%.
Yeah. So when you go to Ia now, everything is very uniform. Everything's whitewashed.
Beautiful.
And it's absolutely gorgeous.
It is. It's gorgeous. And what did we do there? We checked into our hotel, kind of walked around the town for a little bit, and then we went on a sunset cruise, which we were told we had to do because people come from all over the world to see the sunsets in Santorini, in Ia specifically. And so we were told you have to do a sunset cruise. That's the way to see it. And
so we did a semi-private. There were 12 people on board on our catamaran.
Yep.
And we met some fascinating people on that ship.
We did. And that's one of the things we like about traveling is the people that we meet and talk with. And it's super interesting.
Yeah. In fact, one of the couples was, this was his second marriage, her first marriage. Mm-hmm. And they've been married 21 years.
Yep.
And he was the president of an energy company. She was a doctor. And we talked to them a little bit about their blending of families. Holy cow, do we have it easy compared to what they went through?
Definitely. I mean, she said it was absolute torture. The kids did not take to her.
No, they thought that she was just using their dad.
Well, she was from Romania.
Right.
And they thought you're just marrying our rich, because I think they were pretty rich.
Yeah, they were pretty rich.
You're using our rich dad to get to, they lived in Paris, to get to Paris, to get out of Romania. And she said, that's not the case. She's a doctor, for crying out loud.
But she did grow up in communist Romania.
Yes.
So I can see why his daughters would probably feel that way.
Right. But so she said it was horrible. And she said she doesn't know how they made it through that time. And then her and her husband, they had a child together. They have one child together. But she says now it's fine. She said it's respectful. She says it's not really love.
It's just respect.
It's just respect.
So thank you to my stepkids for actually loving me.
Oh,
I really appreciate that.
And same. Like I can't imagine not having the love there. Be very sad.
Now at dinner, we ate dinner with this couple, and then sitting next to us and this older couple was two college kids that had been together, 4 years?
Yeah, 4 or 5 years. They were from Germany, but living in Zurich, Switzerland. And he was finishing his PhD.
In mechanical engineering.
Yep. And she was working at a reinsurance company after completing her master's.
In technology management.
Yeah, they were really
It was
cool.
An interesting table, the three couples and talking to each other. And it was a lot of fun. So we really have fun meeting new people. And talking to them. That's a key aspect of our trips together.
But the sunset on the cruise did not disappoint. It was amazing. We have some great pictures we'll put on our blog. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We got back to our hotel. And what did we do? We walked around for just a little bit.
And crashed.
Yeah, we walked around for a little bit, got
slept.
some baklava, and then we crashed.
We went to bed. Yeah.
And then the next day was our anniversary.
That's our anniversary. Was our next day? Yeah.
Our next anniversary. We probably already talked about our other anniversary. We have a couple we have several anniversaries to celebrate.
So on this day, we kind of spent the day driving around Ia, which was really awesome. We got to see a place called Ancient Thera.
Well, we drove around Santorini.
Santorini, yeah.
Yes.
What did I say?
Oh,
Ia. Mm. We drove around the whole island, not just the little town of Ia.
I was going to say, that would have taken like 5 minutes.
You can walk the whole thing in 20.
So yes, we drove around Santorini.
And we went down to Ancient Thera.
Yes.
Great place.
Fascinating.
Very fascinating. Paige had sandals on. Mistake.
Yeah, we didn't really do our research on that because we get there and everybody's in hiking gear and people have walking sticks and water bottles, canteens on their back. And we're like,
I wonder what this is.
Yeah, what was going on? Well, that's because you have to hike 20 miles. And I'm like, I'm just kidding.
It wasn't 20, but it was.
It's very. You need tennis shoes. Let's just say that. You need tennis shoes.
They don't pave their trails here, right? So everything's kind of very rocky and
straight up and these big steps. And it was,
And getting up there was incredible. We went, total distance was 1 mile, and we climbed 1,200 feet in 1 mile in a car. There must have been 20 switchbacks going back and forth, back and forth.
Yes.
And then you get to the top and you go, okay, great, we're here. Nope. You have another 400 or 500 vertical feet to go to get up to the ancient site.
But we did it.
We did.
I did it in my cute little sandals.
Yeah.
I did it.
Sure did. I was so tempted to carry her down, but she wouldn't let me.
No, that wouldn't have been good.
It would have been a disaster. Now, after that, we went into the town of Fira, which is a port city, and a lot of cruise ships park there.
Yes.
They say up to 5 or 6 cruise ships park there.
I can't imagine. So it's set up for the tourists. There's tons of shopping and
little shops,
restaurants, and I mean just streets and streets and streets. And there was 2 cruise ships in that day?
There were 2 cruise ships in that day. And I can't imagine with 5.
It was packed. And yeah, they were saying that some days there's 5, 6 max. And we were just going, what?
And now Fira sits about 500 feet above sea level. And it's literally a cliff down to where the boats are. And the boats can't dock. So they sit out in the cauldron with their engines running. It's too deep to drop anchor, we learned.
Yeah.
So they just sit there and idle. And then other ships go out and bring all the people in. And then they take a cable car up to Fira.
Yep.
So it's a pretty cool place, I have to admit.
And we went to this restaurant that we found online that had great reviews. And you had
octopus.
You've been wanting to have octopus.
I've been wanting it.
Because we heard it was really good here in Greece.
It was so incredible.
So it was actually octopus risotto. It was pretty.
You even liked it.
I did. It was really good.
Wow.
It was really good. And I had, amazing Greek food. I had souvlaki. Yeah. So good. Do you know what we forgot to mention about the cruise?
No, what?
That we swam.
We swam in a volcano.
We did. And there was only the young couple and us.
Yeah. We were the next youngest couple.
That is. Oh, yes, we were.
Yes, we
were. But we swam with the other young couple, making us feel really young, in the volcano in sulfur.
Yep. Sulfur was about 10 or 15 degrees warmer than the rest of.
Right.
Because it was in the center of the cauldron where there's still some activity there.
And there's a guy that has lived there for 30 years.
30 years by himself.
By himself. We have pictures of that too.
Yeah, no one else on the island. It's an island that was created about 400 years ago by the volcano. And he's the only one that lives there.
Yeah.
By himself. And the rumors on why he lives there by himself are quite fascinating.
Oh, yes. Yes. All over the place.
So you can check out a video where we talk about that on our YouTube channel.
But yeah, so I didn't want to forget about that because that was actually really cool.
That was cool. We swam in a volcano.
Cool. Yes.
Bucket list. Okay, the next place, once we left Santorini, we came back to Athens and decided, let's hit the road to Peloponnese.
Yes, I was a little sad to leave Santorini. In fact, if we had the trip to do over again, if anybody's planning a trip, I would have spent probably at least 3 days in Santorini just so we could have one day to just relax and lay by the pool and maybe lay at a beach because we didn't have time to do that.
There weren't good beaches in Santorini.
I know, but everybody was laying out by the pool at our hotel.
Yes, they were.
I would have liked a day to just do that.
That would have been nice.
I wish we would have had one more day in Santorini. That's all.
Okay.
Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just relax. I mean, we had our hotel room had a hot tub.
So awesome.
Had a hot tub out on our balcony, and that was really cool.
And the views were unimpeded views of the cauldron. We're at 800 feet above the cauldron. It was pretty awesome.
Okay. So anyway.
All right, Peloponnese, man.
You can tell we love Santorini.
But Peloponnese was very cool as well. Now, this is
that's where we are. We actually are there right now. If you're watching our YouTube channel, if you're listening, go to our YouTube channel. You can see we're sitting in
Prata. Patras.
And we are sorry for anyone that's Greek that's listening to this. I'm sure we're just slaughtering the words, but Patras, we think. Petros, something like that. With those letters, P-E-R-T-A-S, something like that.
P-A-T-R-A-S. So there you go.
But look at this incredible view behind us. And the guy told, when we checked in last night, he told us that in the morning that we were going to be able to see dolphins swimming.
Yeah, the dolphins woke up earlier than we did.
Yeah, I said, darn those dolphins for being morning people.
So on our trip here, we left Athens, We drove to Corinth.
Are you trying to get me back on?
Yes,
task?
we gotta finish the podcast eventually.
Okay.
So, we left Athens, went to Corinth, ancient Corinth, and Paige, pay attention. There are no dolphins.
I'm looking for the dolphins still. Okay.
So, ancient Corinth. This is where Paul, one of the early churches formed, and ancient Corinth is still there, and they have a monument to Paul there, which I had to take a picture of, which you can see on our blog. Ancient Corinth was really cool because it's a whole city. Where in Athens, we didn't see the whole city. We only saw parts of it because Athens was so big. But Corinth, beautiful ancient city. We always said they should just rebuild it. It'd be really cool to walk down the streets of a Grecian
have like
town.
a reconstruction. It would be really cool. Somebody should get on that.
Yeah, someone rich.
Yes. No, it was cool. And then we drove through the countryside and the olive trees and the vineyards and the orange groves was amazing.
Yeah, and dogs everywhere.
Gorgeous. Yep.
Dogs everywhere.
And then we went to I don't even want to say it.
Napolon.
That's not how we say it. Nafplion. I don't know.
We're going to call it Nafplion.
Yes. Nafplion. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we went to. Oh, I love that little city.
It's another seaport city that cruise ships dock in.
It's adorable. It's the cutest city we've seen by far.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, my goodness. It's just picture perfect. Every alley is just adorable with bright colored buildings and red and orange and green and flowers everywhere.
Tourists,
oh, it's gorgeous.
No one really lives like that. That's
oh my
just
goodness.
For the
it was
tourists.
amazing. And we had a great lunch there.
We did
a little bit of shopping. So anyway, go to that town.
Go to that town
adorable.
If you get a chance.
Yep.
And then from there we drove to Olympia. Now we took the longest way to get to Olympia from Napolon.
We just like driving in the car.
Because we had two GPS systems that were arguing with each other on the best way to go.
So we kind of had both of them going, and then we went, we better pick one. And
one said we were going to get there half hour before the other.
Yeah.
It was a 2.5 hour drive. It ended up being 3 hours and 15 minutes.
It was a long time, but that's okay. It was beautiful. The drive was beautiful.
We ran into this small town called Lampia, up in the mountains. Oh my goodness.
There were sheep in the road every 5-10 minutes.
Bells around.
We ran into a herd of sheep in the middle of the road. Oh, so cute.
And little baby lambs. We got some pictures of some baby lambs up there.
So cute.
Stopped at a little cafe to use the restroom, and I talked to the owner of the cafe, asked him about the town.
Yeah, it was gorgeous. The countryside was gorgeous. Reminded us a lot of Italy, the Italy countryside.
Tuscany area.
Yes, yeah, it was.
Absolutely.
It was beautiful.
So if you want to get away from normal ruins, go up into the mountains. Absolutely gorgeous. Very green, unlike a lot of other parts of Italy, which remind me a lot of like the California coast.
Yeah.
It's absolutely gorgeous to go up there. And then we end up in Olympia eventually.
Yes. We did. We eventually got there, even though
an hour and a half later than we had planned. But,
and our GPS still didn't tell us how to get there. There was no signs. Like we were like, why are they trying to keep Olympia, one of the most famous places in the world? Why are they trying to keep a secret from everyone? Like there was nothing.
Yeah, yeah. We found it though.
We finally found it.
Incredible place. A lot more greenery there than all the other places that we've been.
Yes.
So it's in this really fertile valley. I thought Olympia was up in the mountains. It ends up it's not.
Yeah.
It's in this fertile valley. It was a little difficult to get to, but well worth it.
It was very cool. You were very anxious to see where they light the torch, still to this day, for the Olympics.
Which they should be lighting soon.
Yeah. They light the torch there in Olympia in these ruins and, take it to wherever.
They do a whole formal thing. So we go to where what was it, Hera's temple?
I think so.
Yeah, so Hera's temple where they light the torch in this one area.
It's just a couple of
rocks.
It's nothing spectacular.
Well, couple of rocks. Cut rocks. They were blocks.
I'm just saying. I was like, because we were going, we got to find where they do that. I'm like, it's here.
It's right here. Right here. Yeah. And so we go over and start taking pictures, and this dog just walks over and then lays down in the middle of this place.
Uh-huh. Like he owned it.
Like he owned it. And no one owns this dog. This dog was just kind of hung out at the Olympic Stadium in the Olympic area. And then a whole group from Brazil was coming over. They were going to, a whole tour group was coming over. And another dog decided, I'm going to get something from these people. So he comes and stands next to his pal.
He just stood up like,
yeah, okay. You're supposed to feed me, right?
it
was pretty funny. So, and then from Olympia, we drove to
here,
Petros, where we're at today.
Yep.
And a beautiful, beautiful city, port city. No cruise ships here, we found out, but all the ferries from, not the ferries with wings.
Not the ferries with wings.
But ferries go from here to Italy. And to Venice from here. So we can hop on a ferry and 5 hours later, we can be in Italy.
Yeah.
It's just over there.
I'm still looking for the dolphins. If you like today's episode,
give us 5 stars on iTunes, Spotify, Google.
And head to Facebook and like us.
And check out our blog at where'sthelemonade.org,
where you can leave questions and comments.
But most of all,
go out and make some lemonade.
You betcha, baby.